Everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Breeder's Corner. In today's episode, I just wanted to share with you how to choose a suitable location for your tank. A lot of people have different questions about this, where to place the tank, and such forth. So I wanted to show you how I chose the location for my tank and what kind of questions I asked and what kind of problems I faced with that. Initially, when I got the house, as you can see, this is the house right here. Sorry, it's not 100% tidy right now, but wanted to show you really quick. I have a living room area right here. So this is one room right here. And then right here is upstairs to the stairs to go upstairs. Right here is another room where we have the TV and the sofas and stuff. We have a little dining room here, and over there into that door right there is the kitchen. Initially, I really wanted the tank to go right here on this wall next to the dining room, since this is the room that we use the most, and I think the tank would be seen here most probably all the time. But I measured the wall, and I only have space for about a 6-foot tank. I've always wanted a longer tank, but I was willing to settle for a 6-footer, which is about probably 240 gallons or so, if it was gonna fit here. But then I looked at this, and I was faced with this problem right here. See, we have this window right here, which in the summer has direct sunlight. See, especially on a saltwater tank, you don't want a window that has direct sunlight, because you might get a lot of algae problems into your tank, and heat problems as well. Although I live in Southern California and you have to have a chiller, but I just didn't want the chiller to be running overtime, since the sun does face from this window right here, as you can see, in the south all the time. I mean, even in the summer, even if the sun is a little bit higher up in the sky, you still get the sun coming down into this window and hitting this area right here where I wanted to place the tank. Now, another consideration to think is what kind of surface you have on your floor. If you are having some issues where you have carpet or other types of surface like wood, I would suggest that you might want to reconsider, because salt water isn't really friendly to wood or carpeting, especially if you spill it, if you do water changes, you have a little overflow issue or something like that. It could happen and damage your carpet or your wood. So I would suggest that you go with something like a tile, or if you're going with something like, if you're putting in the garage, you can do it straight on the concrete, it's fine. Or if you have vinyl flooring, is okay too. So in my situation, I decided that this area wasn't good, but one thing that would have benefited me was that the tile is over here is good. You just want to make sure that the tile is also 100% level. You don't want imperfections in the leveling. And if you're getting tile installed in your house, make sure that the installer does a good job on the leveling of the tile. So I went ahead and started looking for other locations in the house. So I'm going to take you over here. This is where my dogs eat and drink. I also wanted to put it here in this corner, but unfortunately this was even worse. I would have only had to fit a 4-foot tank, which is my previous 90, which would have been okay too, but I really wanted something bigger. So you have to also put into consideration, salt water isn't too much of a cheap hobby. It does require somewhat of money, to establish it. And I think that the more you spend in salt water, some people might take this wrong, but I think that the more equipment, the better equipment that you get. If you have a controller and so on, it just makes your life easier having a saltwater tank. I think that you either spend a lot of money on buying the goods and products for it, like equipment and so forth, or you can spend a lot of time maintaining it manually and physically. So it goes hand in hand. So as you can see, the sun comes from that side of the house. This is the north side of the house, and I have two windows right here, but I decided that these windows rarely ever get direct sunlight. As you can see, it's very dim. To the outside here is my front yard facing north. So I decided, oh, this might be a good area. I have a lot of space here in a room that we rarely ever have any furniture in. We just use it for extra space. So I was like, okay, I can put a recliner or sofa or something here and have a tank here, which would be excellent for, you know, my big tank. That's a good issue that I had. So I started measuring this wall right here. You want to keep in consideration there's different variations of each tank. So even if you get a 240 gallon, it can come in a long and a short, a tall, a wide. So you can configure it the way you want. Especially if you get a bigger tank, it's most of the time it's custom, so you can custom make it to where it fits your needs. So this wall right here was big enough for 30 inches. Which is the width of the tank of a 300s, and then here I have over 12 feet, believe it or not. So if I place an 8-foot tank, it would nicely come and cover the area right here in front of these two windows, which would fit perfectly, and it would not obstruct any furniture. It would not obstruct me getting in and out of this door right here. It would just go just fine. So that's how I decided. Also, I have my dogs here, obviously, but here I have the tile work on the floor. You want to make sure also that the tile is strong enough. You want to ask if you got the tile installed by someone, if the tile has been is ceramic or porcelain. I know a lot of people think that they're both equally strong, but you want to make sure that underneath it it's prepped correctly. What I noticed here is there's some hollow spaces underneath in the tile, so I have to have it redone. So I contacted the guy that did the tile for me. I'm gonna have him redo it because, you know, on average it's around 10 pounds a gallon, 300 gallon tank. I'm just estimating around 3,000 pounds for this fish tank at least. That's without the rock or the stand or any of that equipment or anything like that. So you want to make sure that the tile underneath is strong and level. That's very important because it just makes your life a lot easier. You don't have to shim the stand or anything like that to make it level, and the water will be all level and nice and dandy for you. So that's how I chose where I wanted to put the aquarium. I just wanted to share that with you. There's a lot more videos coming up where the delivery of the aquarium and all that's going to take place. Here you can see one of my dogs, but I will share that with you. I also wanted to do an unboxing of equipment and all that. And just one quick thing though. When you go and decide to buy this big aquarium, don't hesitate to shop around. I know you might have your local fish store that's very helpful and you like their work and all that stuff, but don't be shy. Just shop around, see what it is. If other shops give you slightly lower number than your local fish store, I would recommend, if you like your local fish store, to go with them just to support them as a local fish store that you go to all the time. But if other stores are significantly less, just calculate the cost of shipping to your house. Don't forget that's a big thing too, is shipping can be costly, especially with a big tank. 300 gallon tank might take up to 6 people to move it in and out of the house from the truck. So you want to put that into consideration, that the price of the tank itself is not going to be that's it. You're going to have cost of shipping, cost of transportation, if you need movers or helpers, or if you have friends and can grab a case of beer, that's also good. But a lot of people can't get together 6 guys that are willing to move a tank, and some people have issues with you know, timing and stuff like that. So you have to put into consideration the cost of everything as well. So that's how I chose where I wanted my aquarium to go, and I hope you found this beneficial to you and to any new people coming into the hobby. And I hope to see you guys soon. Hope have a good day, and see you later.